The worst accident to have is the same one that hurt or killed someone else. In these reviews, we cover some actual major incidents that we can learn from to avoid accidents and injuries. Rescuers were called to a warehouse around 8:30 in the morning about a man trapped under a forklift. When they arrived, they found the victim already deceased. He was turning a forklift on an incline when it suddenly tilted and landed on its side, throwing him out, crushing and amputating his head. A worker was injured when a forklift crashed into him at a warehouse. The man, in his 50s, was taken to the hospital suffering lower leg injuries. Apparently, the man had been walking through the warehouse and a forklift came around the corner and struck him. Firefighters worked to rescue a man whose leg became entangled in a forklift at a plant on Wednesday afternoon. A fork truck had backed over the employee, and that caused the man's leg to become smashed under the rear wheel. An extra rescue squad had to be called in to help get the man's leg untangled from the machine. Airbags had to be placed under the forklift to lift it, then the wheel had to be removed to get the man's leg out. It was later amputated. The rescue took almost 1 hour. In a similar incident, a man was transported to a hospital after an accident at a South Side factory. He was walking quickly through an intersection at the factory, and as he rounded a corner, he stepped right in front of a moving forklift. His right foot was completely crushed under a front wheel, and doctors were unable to save it. A man, 52, was killed in a forklift accident when he stopped to inspect the machine. He had taken the forklift out into the parking lot to do an inspection and apparently failed to properly set the brakes. The machine ran off the end of the parking lot and down an embankment, knocking him over and carrying his body down into a ditch, trapping the man underneath the machine. Another forklift had to be used to lift the overturned vehicle and free the victim. The man died of his injuries before being transported to the hospital. We just discussed 5 accidents with injuries. 2 of the accidents resulted in death. Both people killed were experienced forklift operators. One died because he was not wearing a seatbelt. The other died because he failed to set the brakes. The other 3 accidents resulted in non-fatal but severely life-altering injuries. 2 people lost part or all of a lower limb, and another suffered a very serious leg injury. In all 3 of the incidents, it appeared that neither the machine operators nor the pedestrians were paying enough attention to avoid the accident. In one incident, the forklift operator was not looking in the direction of travel. There are several lessons to be learned. Pay attention. Operators and pedestrians must be aware of each other at all times. Operators, wear your seatbelt all the time, no exceptions. If that machine tips over, it will save your life. Operators, slow down at blind intersections. And operators and pedestrians must always be on the alert when forklifts are in use.